he has the wow factor. He's got a photographic memory. He's a great communicator. I'll be shocked if he's not one hell of an NFL quarterback. And I told a couple of my friends in Pittsburgh, I told Omar Khan, I can't believe you got him in the 6th round.
How about that? He also said, I'm shocked that he's going to be on the bench much longer. What is happening here?
That's a great endorsement. Listen,
he couldn't have meant this year.
No, but right?
He
couldn't
have. Well, no, maybe not that, but maybe. We just talked about, will Mason Rudolph be taking over if Aaron Rodgers has a couple more bad games in a row?
There's no question. The reality is this. The only way he comes off the bench and plays is if the Steelers lose the next 5 games and they're down there hanging out with the Browns in the division. I mean, there's no way he's going to be playing this year as long as the Steelers are in contention.
I wouldn't think so. But the topic at large here is Gruden saying they got to steal.
That's a big endorsement, right? I mean, that's a big endorsement. Jon Gruden knows what he's doing, and so I think that's what we were hearing. It's unfortunate that he got hurt in training camp, right? We didn't really get to see that talent on the field, and so until he can do that in a preseason game and then elevate it, and then not against third-team guys, second-team guys, that's kind of the progression you have for a 6th-round draft pick. If he was a 1st-round draft pick, it'd be different. 6th-round draft pick, that's going to be kind of the progression he's going to get. And if he continues to nail it at every turn, I can see him get on the field, but not this year.
So, all right, then do they not need a quarterback next year? I must have missed this story. Will Howard's going to be the guy then?
No. It could be Mason Rudolph. It could be him. They'll add another. I think it comes down to what's going to happen in the preseason next year.
Yeah, listen.
I don't suspect they're going to go out and sign another veteran.
If the Steelers have an opportunity to draft a top guy early in the draft, they won't shy away from that. I mean, Will Howard, there's a reason why they drafted him in the 6th round.
Why?
They would have drafted him higher if they had a higher round.
Why did he last until the 6th round?
32 teams passed on him 5 rounds.
I know.
And so what I'm saying is he didn't have a 1st-round grade.
Right.
He didn't have a 2nd-round grade or a 3rd-round grade or 4th-round grade, 5th grade, because other teams would have drafted him.
This is such... You don't know what you're dealing with guys. There's cases to be made for guys who fell, who overcame it. There are cases to be made number one picks who have fallen.
But not to anoint him.
No, nobody's anointing him. You're just looking at his talent.
And so are a lot of other people.
He's saying that he has the potential to be a good NFL quarterback.
He basically said that I'll be shocked if this kid's not an NFL starter.
Okay,
and he talked about Brad Johnson leading his team to the Super Bowl.
He talked about him not being on the bench very long either. He's talking about
him not being on the bench. He's not just saying, that could work out.
You haven't seen anything weird in your life happen in the NFL? Guys have come out of nowhere?
Are you endorsing what Gruden said?
I'm saying that he has potential, and we don't know it until you see it, but there's potential, and there are a lot of teams that may regret that they passed on him for 6 rounds, for 5 rounds.
Tom Brady, who got drafted in the 6th round and becomes an elite quarterback, there's thousands of quarterbacks that get drafted in the 6th round.
This is what's
how many first-round picks are bust when you think they're not?
A ton.
Okay,
well, let's look across the league.
If you're going to look at it from that prism, you should look at it the other way.
No, but the reality is, but this is a 6th-round draft pick. Listen, I lived a life as an undrafted free agent, Pomp. I know what the perspective. I know how you're looked at as a late-round undrafted free agent versus a first-round, second-round, third-round guy. I battled and I fought.
And you don't think he can?
I think he can, but they anoint him and say, I can't believe he'll be on the field very long. There's a reason why he dropped the 6th round. He's not a bad character guy, so it's not like Shedeur Sanders where maybe the people thought about the family relationship and do we want that kind of baggage in this locker room. This guy he had a great reputation. He's not a bad, he's not a guy that people would say he'd be a distraction.
He won big games. You can argue that he had great talent in Ohio State. There are a lot of guys who have great talent.
He won big games. He doesn't have bad character. There's no shaky things you're thinking about. He fell to the 6th round. It has to be because of talent.
Bob, you'll acknowledge that the best way to get a quarterback is the 1st round, and that most of the star quarterbacks in the NFL
absolutely,
are first-round guys.
That, but I'm also not going to rule out the fact.
Well, nobody's ruling it out. Just normal.
Well, you guys sound like you're not going to give him any chance of doing anything.
Absolutely, I will. I think Gruden went overboard, and I think a lot of fans go overboard. But if that's the case, that, oh, my God, I can't believe they got this guy, and I'll be shocked if he's not a starting quarterback, then why draft one next year?
And what I said, Pomp, was
because you got to have because of the way you hit and miss. Every team does it.
What I said was he's got to work his way up. Natural progression. He's a guy that didn't get any reps this last training camp, 6th-round pick. He's going to go in there against third-string guys in preseason games, second-string guys, move his way up. That's what I was talking about. I mean, he's not going to go in there and go first-team guys right away.
I'm not suggesting that either.
He's going to have
what he said
a couple of years of
was more.
How's he going to get a chance if they take a kid high in the 1st round?
Because it comes down to what you do in games.
No.
if he gets a chance in the preseason, and he shows himself.
If they take a kid in the top 10, that kid is going to dominate the reps and maybe get handed the keys to the franchise.
Are you sure they're going to get someone in the top 10?
No, I'm not.
Okay, and how about if they don't?
Then maybe he'll get a shot.
Well, that's all I'm saying. I'm not ruling anything out. When I have a guy who's talented, has won big games in college,
they draft a guy in the
put more emphasis on
every opportunity.
I understand, and he should. But are you de-emphasizing production in college over potential in college? What matters more to you?
Production, of course.
Okay, because Trey Lance was all about Trey, the third overall pick. He was all about his
great. There's also been a ton of Heisman Trophy winners who managed to
but here's the deal. You can be productive at a D3 or NAIA school. Doesn't mean you're going to be productive in the NFL.
This is Kansas State and Ohio State.
No
question.
He
won big games.
No question. What I'm saying is he's not going to be anointed the job. He has to work his way through the system.
No one's saying he's going to be anointed a job. I didn't say that.
What I'm saying is we don't know what we have yet. I mean, it's a different game at the college level than it is in the NFL game. And so he's going to have to – I'm not saying he's not going to be good. I'm not – this is not a condemnation against him. What I'm saying is he's going to have to work through the system. And Jon Gruden says, I'm going to be shocked if he's not on the grass much longer.
Well, that's I wouldn't say that. All I'm saying is that I think there is talent there.
Yeah.
It has to be extracted. Here's a more legitimate question. Can they extract the talent? Can they turn him into something? Because they haven't had a big history of turning young quarterbacks into good players.
If they draft a guy who's their franchise guy next year, they won't put in the effort to extract. They can't put in the effort to extract it out of him because they'll be putting it into the other guy.
And how about if they miss like they did on Kenny Pickett?
But here's another thing, too. I agree with that, Starkey, but also I agree with your saying, Pomp, is can the Steelers pull that out of him? Right. You look at like a Mac Jones who went to the Patriots and really was just a below-average quarterback at best when he was there. Now he goes to the Niners, and there's talk about, Purdy and him. Who's the number one guy? Are they slow playing, bringing back Purdy because Mac Jones playing well? So it's the system. It's the coaches. Can the coaches get that out of them? Well, can that happen here?
Right, and that's the thing. The Steelers haven't shown that they can do that with younger quarterbacks.
They haven't had to in a while, but yes.
Yeah, but it happened more recently with Kenny Pickett. That did not turn him. That's my point. You have to do that as an organization.
Kenny
there
hasn't
are
done well
some places.
other teams either.
No, just like Darnold didn't.
Yeah.
Darnold finally went and, it takes time sometimes with guys, and you never know if you're going to get that opportunity. And if he doesn't, then he won't get that opportunity.